Welcome to Reddit Junkie, where we post a mighty a-hole posts daily. Original post. AITA for not letting my sister move in after our parents cut her off. Hey Reddit, I, 27F, need some judgment on a family mess that's been building for a long time. I'll try to lay it out clearly, though there's a lot of backstory. My younger sister Kayla, 23F, has always been what you'd call the golden child. Our parents doted on her, gave her everything, and always bent over backward to make her life easier. Meanwhile, I was the responsible one. I was expected to take care of myself, do well in school, and not cause problems. It became clear when we were teenagers that we were being raised differently. Kayla got a brand new car on her 16th birthday. I had to save for years to buy a used Honda Civic. When Kayla got into trouble, failing classes, partying too much, our parents would swoop in to bail her out, make excuses, or blame her teachers. When I needed support, like when I was working full-time and studying, my mom would say, "Well, you're so independent, you don't need help." It's not that I resent Kayla for everything, exactly. She's not evil, but she is incredibly entitled. She expects things to go her way. And when they don't, she breaks down or manipulates the situation until someone fixes it. Fast forward to last month, Kayla got into a screaming match with our parents. She wanted them to co-sign a lease for a luxury apartment in the city. They refused, finally, and she called them toxic and manipulative and accused them of never supporting her. The irony is wild. She moved out and was crashing with friends. Then she called me. She said she was trying to start fresh, and asked if she could move into my guest room temporarily. Now, I do have a guest room. I live in a 2-bedroom condo that I bought myself after years of saving and hard work. But I told her no. I said I couldn't take on that responsibility and that I needed to keep my space peaceful. She started crying, said she had nowhere else to go, that she was finally waking up to how messed up our family is. That I was the only person she trusted. I almost caved, but I remembered how many times she's burned me. The time she borrowed my car and returned it with a huge dent. The time she used my credit card, just once, and left me with $300 of debt. The time she showed up drunk to my graduation party and picked a fight with my then boyfriend. So I stood firm. She's now telling everyone I abandoned her when she was at rock bottom. My mom, surprisingly, has backed off and said, maybe this is what she needs. But my dad has called me heartless. Several cousins and aunts have messaged me saying, family means showing up even when it's hard. I feel awful, but I also feel like letting her move in would be enabling her all over again. So, Reddit AITA. Update 5 days later. I didn't expect my post to get this much attention, but thank you to everyone who commented, shared their own stories, or even just voted. It's been a whirlwind few days. Kayla showed up at my work 2 days ago. Yes, my actual job, unannounced. I work as an administrative coordinator at a small company. My boss is pretty relaxed, but it's not the kind of place where personal drama is welcome. Kayla walked right in, past reception, and came into the break room while I was on my lunch break. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Eyes bloodshot, hair in a messy bun, wearing the same hoodie she wore last time I saw her. She sat across from me and just said, "Please." She said she's been sleeping on a friend's couch, but they told her she has to be out by the weekend. She's been trying to find a job, but no one will hire her because she doesn't have much work experience or references. Then she started crying. Again, said she's trying, that she knows she messed up, but that I was supposed to be different from mom and dad. I kept calm, but told her again that I couldn't take her in. I offered to help her find a shelter or temporary housing services through my city's social services line. I even printed out a few resources for her. She went cold, said I was a robot, that I don't care about people. She stormed out. Later that night, I got a call from my cousin Amanda, who said Kayla came to her next. Amanda also turned her down, but said she was disappointed in me for not helping when I had the chance. I reminded Amanda that Kayla has burned nearly every bridge she's had, including hers. She didn't reply. Yesterday, I came home and found a handwritten letter stuffed under my door. From Kayla. It was intense. She listed every bad thing she says I've done to her over the years, most of which were completely fabricated or reimagined, and ended it by saying she was going no contact with me forever. But then, just this morning, she sent a long email asking again to stay, just for a week. I don't even know what to say anymore. Part of me is exhausted. Part of me feels sad for her. But most of me is glad I didn't cave. I don't think I could handle the chaos. Thanks again to everyone who weighed in. Not sure if I'll update again unless something major happens. Update to 2 weeks later. This will be my final update. Things came to a head, and I need to put this behind me. A few days after the letter and email, Kayla must have realized I wasn't responding. She started messaging my coworkers on LinkedIn. Yes, LinkedIn, trying to get a message to me. My supervisor actually called me into her office to ask if everything was okay. I was so embarrassed. That same day, I blocked Kayla on every platform. I even changed the locks on my condo just in case. But she wasn't done. She started showing up at family events. My cousin's birthday dinner. She crashed it. A family barbecue my parents were hosting. She begged to be invited and then told everyone there how cruel I've been to her. She cried on my mom's shoulder and spun this story where she was the victim of abandonment. Here's the kicker. A few family members started reaching out to me to talk things through. Not to scold me, but to say they were worried about Kayla's mental health. That she might hurt herself. I called Kayla's bluff. I messaged her directly and said I would call emergency services to do a wellness check if she was in crisis. Suddenly, the emotional manipulation vanished. She said I was dramatic and just trying to get her institutionalized. I realized then that she had been lying about being in danger. The final straw came 3 days ago. My car windshield was smashed in the parking garage at my apartment. Nothing was stolen, but I found a note under the wiper blade, in her handwriting. If I'm so evil, maybe I should just disappear. I called the police. I gave them everything. The texts, the note, the letter. I filed for a restraining order. It's in progress. My parents, they're disappointed in me, but I'm safe. I'm not sharing this for karma or validation anymore. I'm sharing it for anyone who needs to hear it. You are allowed to cut off toxic family. You are not a bad person for setting boundaries. I wish Kayla the best. I hope she gets help. But she won't be getting it from me. Thank you all. Well, if you've enjoyed this wild ride through family drama, golden child favoritism, and emotional boundaries, please consider liking and subscribing to Reddit Junkie. We post AITA stories daily, complete with multi-part updates and real community reactions. Your support helps us keep uncovering the internet's most compelling tales. See you in the next post.